Hola chicas, welcome to our class, which is S290 Central American Culture. Has a longer name than that, but we can go by Central American Culture for our purposes of this video. We've already been having some discussion, and I'm glad to see you're all very excited for the trip. I hope you're also excited for the class and the learning that will go along with our trip to Costa Rica. I apologize that it's taken me a little bit to get this introductory video up. Craziness of starting a new semester has only been augmented by all of the scheduling I've been trying to do, making sure things fall into place for this trip. I want to make sure it goes as well as it possibly can, that we avoid any glitches. So it has made life a little crazy for the beginning of the semester, but that's okay because it's all going to be well worth it when we are enjoying ourselves in Central America in May, right? And we're learning and experiencing the environment and the culture. So we need to get started though. You've already been doing your introductions and the introductory unit, which is wonderful. Now we need to go into the first content unit. In the first content unit, you need to read the first 3 chapters of the Booth book, Understanding Central America. And then I have linked a reading that's a short story called The Dog. The first 3 chapters of the Booth book are rather dense. There's a lot of political theory, particularly in chapter 2. And as I said in what I wrote for the module, it is not necessarily to get through all that political theory. Of course, if you're interested, definitely spend time on it. But what we're more interested in is the issues that have kind of shaped Central America. So we're looking more at the poverty, and we do want to talk about the regime change, which is where their political theory comes in. But I don't think we need to dwell on all of the different theories of regime change. We just need to know what happened in Central America itself. So as I said, it's actually from about the middle of page 30 to the middle of page 39 that deals with all the theory. And it's really not necessary to dwell on those pages. You can skip through those and read more of the content of what was going on with Central America itself. The short story, The Dog, I'm going to say right now, I'm going to apologize up front. Some of you will probably get upset with it, particularly all the animal lovers we have in this class. But it's a really telling short story because not only can you start to hopefully see a little bit of the history, I don't know if you'll catch the references or not that are in that story, but it also is telling about the way kind of Central America has been treated historically by the outside world, particularly by the United States. So those are the kind of things I want you to think about while you're reading that short story. I will get the quiz posted hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow, which would be Thursday the 22nd, and also the prompts for the discussion forum. I think I'll have probably 3 forums in which we're all going to participate and converse over these materials. So besides this, what else do we need to do? I am putting together 2 different survey monkeys that deal more with our travel portion of the class. One is going to be to gauge when we might all be able to meet. Now, I know it's harder for a couple of you because you're not in the Richmond area, but we're going to be determining whether we should do this meeting online, maybe with Google Hangouts, or if we'll have a live meeting and then link in with Google Hangouts to those who can't come. But that's what I need the Survey Monkey for, to gauge who is available when and if you're able to come or if it would be better online. So that's one. The second one I'm going to create is I've already had a number of you express concern to me over the ziplining portion of our travel in Costa Rica and asking if you absolutely have to do that. Now, and my answer is no. I understand that we're already pushing limits here with this travel, pushing limits with traveling to another country or with flying or not knowing Spanish. And so I know you already all have some reservations, or many of you do in one way or another. And it's not necessary. If you have a god-awful fear of heights, no, I'm not going to make you strap yourself to a zip line and go. But what I want to do is create a survey as to how many of you absolutely know you will not do that. Because if we have a large number, I am going to contact our tour company and ask if at the time those who want to go ziplining are going, we can have an alternative activity that's available for those who don't go ziplining. So I do want to know who absolutely thinks they will not do the ziplining. If you think you might be interested and you might want to try it, then don't say no, you won't do it, because you might decide while you're there and see it. But if you know for sure it's past your comfort zone, that's absolutely fine with me. And I just want to know if we have enough of a number to request that they create something else for those people to do. If you do not have a passport yet, now is definitely the time to be doing that. It doesn't take always months to get it, but sometimes there's a backlog with the Department of State, so you do want to be getting your passport. We do have other things we need to discuss shortly, things like the CDC recommendations for traveling to Costa Rica, State Department circulars about traveling in Costa Rica. Most honestly aren't going to apply to us and to our travels, but it is something we need to go through and to talk about, just so if you have questions about the travels. I think that's it for now. I also am going to try, hopefully next week one day, when things have settled down and we have the trip portion more solidified, I'm going to try and schedule a time to do a live lecture, mainly about just the general characteristics of Central America. So keep your eye out for that. And I'll try and gauge that also off of your comments on our scheduling SurveyMonkey. So those are the things to keep your eye out for. We have the quiz coming up that will be posted tomorrow. We have the discussion forum will be posted tomorrow. A SurveyMonkey on availability for meeting about the trip, for meeting for live lectures, or be available online for live lectures, and then the SurveyMonkey about ziplining. And then we have all kinds of fun and interesting things coming up. So let's get ready to get into the content of Unit 1.